Hello and welcome to Chugging Along. I'm Tim.
And I'm Sam.
So yeah, thank you very much for your comments on our last video where we made it to the town of Market Drayton on the Shropshire Union Canal.
We also saw a canal boat on sale for just £500 and it was simple but very effective, and surprisingly quite a fair few of you said that you would be happy having a boating holiday on it with just a sleeping bag and a camping stove.
If you're new here, we're doing a long narrowboat trip from Field to Llangollen, and in this video we will be going down the Adelie and Audlem flight of locks. This is the most lock heavy part of this canal, and also we cycle into the town that we love so much that makes us question our nomadic lifestyle altogether.
You want to stick around in this video to see this town and also to see Tim have a conversation with a member of the animal kingdom, and of course to hear all those important cruising statistics.
So let's get started with today's cruise, where we are in Market Drayton, and this is the evening before we got going, and we actually got a letter from the CRT who just left it there on our boat, and they told us that there was going to be a towpath closure, but luckily that didn't affect us.
This isn't your boat, Catty. You have to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The next morning we realised we finally had a pet, but it wasn't a greyhound. It was someone else's cat. So I shooed it away and we got started with our rural cruise.
So here we see some remnants of the Wellington to Nantwich railway, which closed in 1967. It's a real shame that Market Drayton doesn't have a station. We'll see some more remnants of this railway later in the video. Sadly, there are currently no plans to reopen it to regular passenger service.
Here are some more farmers' field moorings, which line a lot of this canal. There weren't many wooded areas on this cruise, but the fallen trees made the section so memorable.
We then made it to the Adelie locks, a flight of 5 single locks. There was no queue and it took no more than an hour.
After the locks, we saw a nice spot and decided to moor up for the night. Tim decided to take a walk into the village of Adelie whilst I cooked dinner.
On the way into Adelie, I saw this fallen scholar that looked strangely familiar. I think it's a character from my brother's favourite book series, but I'm not sure. Please, Henry, enlighten us as to who this is in the comments below. Henry was such a big fan of this character, he used to listen to the audiobooks and watch the films too.
Here are more remnants of the old railway line.
Adelie is a population of under 400. But it does have a Grade 1 listed church, an interesting abandoned barn or farmhouse, and a bowling green.
By the time Tim had come back to Marielle, I'd cooked up one of my signature curry dishes with turmeric rice and homemade roti. It was now the morning after the curry before, where we were going to tackle the biggest flight of locks on this canal, Audlem. It's a flight of 15 locks.
At the top of the flight, you'll find Panda's Pantry that sells homemade baked goods. You simply put the money in the honesty tin. It seemed popular, and we got a view of the entrepreneur herself. If Paul Hollywood was here, we're sure he'd shake her hand.
There was a bit of a queue to go down these locks, which was the first time we'd had to wait all summer. After 45 minutes, we were away.
Towards the end of the flight, you see one of the most famous canal pubs on the network, the Shropshire Fly. Hopefully, we'll be able to visit it one day.
It took us just under 4 hours to get down the flight, longer than we were expecting. We should have left earlier in the day.
After the Audlem flight, we had a simply stunning cruise to the outskirts of Nantwich. Chugging along.
Those that have their boats at Overwater Marina are lucky to be in a stunning part of the country and canal network.
Just when you think you're all locked out, bang, the two hat green locks take you by surprise. Luckily, the nearby sheep were friendly when I held a polite conversation with them.
Tim can speak sheep. Show them.
Ma, 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 ma.
It was simply stunning views all round. We were so impressed. We saw a part of the bank that didn't have the Shropshire shelf, so we pulled over and moored up.
and we were happy we did. We had this beautiful view across fields with hills and cows. We were just south of Nantwich, but it was close enough to ride our bikes into.
Nantwich is our #1 town that we've visited yet. With great pleasure, here are our Nantwich diaries.
So that ends this 2-day cruise between Market Drayton and Nantwich. Alright then, Sam, what do you think makes Nantwich so special for us?
Well, I think what makes it so special is it's a lovely market town. You're surrounded by beautiful countryside, but also as a town, there's a lot going on. They have annual festivals, there's a jazz festival, a cheese festival as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that you could do in this town. And it also has a high concentration of grade listed buildings. So it's really picturesque, I think. It's very beautiful and pretty to look at as a town. And also, as far as transport links are concerned, you've got great links to cities like Liverpool and Manchester. You can also travel to Crewe, which is very nearby. And from Crewe, you can then make your way to Birmingham or London. And you can also travel into Wales as well on the train. So it's well positioned to get you across the country.
Definitely,
so I'd say those be the reasons why we think Nantwich stands out.
You go through the boxes, you tick everything. It's one of those places. And a canal, of course.
Of course, and a river as well.
Goes without saying. Oh yeah, and the river. So yeah, it's got everything. Yeah.
So Tim, do you think you'd give up continuously cruising on our narrowboat in order to live in Nantwich?
Ultimately, yeah, I would say no, because we're still sort of into that idea. Having the option of being able to move your home is still something that we are interested in. But fair play to Nantwich for being that good to make us question that. And yeah, that's the first time we've really had that. Probably say Banbury is a close second.
Banbury is a very close second.
So yeah, you know, you've got those two places that do look very good. But yeah, the nomadic lifestyle continues.
So Tim, it's now time for those all-important cruising statistics.
Yes, alright, thank you very much, Sam. So yeah, over the 2 days we did 9 miles and 22 locks, and that was all in 9.5 hours, thus giving us an average speed of 0.9 miles an hour. Quite slow, but then there was a lot of locks and a lot of waiting at the locks sometimes as well, so understandable. That now brings down our trip average to 1.6 miles an hour. We're trying to get there on a 1.5, so yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if we do that. And that now means that we've done 214 over 269 miles.
So join us in next week's video as Marielle takes off her blouse as we finally get our crutch cover repaired and we turn on to the final canal of this journey, the beloved Llangollen. We have so much more stunning scenery to share with you.
So thank you very much for watching this video all the way to the end, and remember, no matter what you do in life, you've got to keep chugging!